All right, so I lost all the stuff I was trying to. There we go. All right, so how do you say your last name, man? Principe?
Principe, yeah, totally.
What?
Yeah,
Nailed
you
it on
got it
the.
right the first try.
I never do that. I never do that. What's up? It's your best friend Daniel Merry. I'm with Alt 92.3, and we're with my guy Joe Principe.
How you doing? It's been 20 years. So we started in 2000, basically December of 1999. So yeah, it's been a long time.
Wow. So you guys have been at it since 1999. That is insane.
Yeah.
You're one of the founding members, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. So actually, on our Facebook the other day, I was like, "Hey, we got any Rise Against fans?" And my buddy Kenny Carkeet, formerly of the band AWOL Nation, he was like, "You kidding me, Baxter?" And I was like, "What's Baxter?" So I had to look that up.
That's Tim's old band. That's how I knew Tim when we were looking for a singer for the soon to be named Rise Against. My old band played in the punk scene, obviously.
Yeah.
Tim's band played same shows. That's how we knew each other.
I love that. So you guys were just in the scene together, just playing, and you're like, "I like that guy's vibe. Let's see what he can do."
That's exactly what it was. I was like, that guy has a cool voice. He could scream and sing, and there's like a pitch to the scream. That was important to me.
You're so right. His vocal fry it blows my mind. The fact that he's able to hit a note while pushing that level, it's kind of, you don't hear many vocalists like that. You don't hear many bands like Rise Against, if I'm going to be honest. How is it that Rise Against has had such success both in the underground and mainstream realm?
I have no idea. No, I'm just kidding. Really, we just do what we do. But I definitely attribute it to, we love great songwriting. We always have. And that definitely goes back to even our punk roots with bands like Bad Religion, who are expert songwriters. Bad Religion, I'm a huge Elvis Costello fan. Police, the Police, 80s pop. So we're kind of all over the map, but we still love aggressive punk rock. But we just take the melody and put it into that, and I think people can relate to it, Also, you said you like metal. I definitely grew up listening to thrash metal as well. Like Anthrax is one of my favorite bands.
Nice.
And again, they're super heavy with a super melodic, vocal.
Right. So we got a question from a guy by the name of Paul. He's a vocalist in a band called Project Ascension. He said Rise Against influences him and his whole band. He said, "What inspired re-education through labor?"
It's funny because Tim writes all the lyrics, so I never really know where he draws inspiration from. But I do know musically, it always, we always have these songs that stand out only because they're just a little bit different than what we normally would do. And that song definitely fell into that category, kind of had this, maybe our listeners wouldn't hear it, but it had this almost like Nirvana vibe, like that driving riff. So I always I took to that because of that. I've always thought that was cool.
So as someone who lived through Katrina and whose life was literally transformed because of Katrina, I can tell you watching Help Is on the Way was the most, it brought me through a billion different emotions. Now, how much of an impact did Katrina have on you guys and the songwriting for that song?
Well, it's definitely something we wanted to draw attention to. And that video is actually the only video. We're actually, as the band members, like, we opted to not be in that video because we wanted to highlight what was happening, down there. And we didn't want to take up space with our ugly mugs, so my daughter, who's 10, she watches our videos on YouTube, and that video, she said it always makes her sad. She's like, people lived through this. I'm like, yeah, they did. And I do remember being like, we were on Warped Tour and we had a day off in that area, and the whole Warped Tour volunteered to help clean up on our day off. So like, um, we were assigned certain sites, like each band or group. And so we would take a
Wow.
bus and go and help clean up. And it really puts things into perspective, as you know, because it's one thing for the world to see it on the news, but when you're living in it, as you know, like it is horrible,
Surreal.
so
Yeah.
yeah, it definitely made it real for me to be there and to definitely it made me appreciate,
Wow.
everything that I had,
Yeah.
it was really sad, obviously.
Man, that's amazing. I've never heard anything about that. A whole tour of bands went and helped.
Yeah.
Wow, dude. I have goosebumps right now just because the camaraderie between the world and what we went through was just inspiring. And during a time where we were all not okay, everyone around us huddled up and show that, hey, it's going to be okay. And that's a great example of that. Musicians coming together for a major reason. And God, like I said, I have goosebumps right now, man. That's really amazing. So thank you so much for everything you did to help with the recovery and anything you did for New Orleanians and everyone impacted by Katrina, because that was the craziest time of my life. I'll tell you that. And if it wasn't for Katrina, I never would have met my wife, never would have had this crazy wildebeest going crazy in the background,
See, there's some positive coming from the negative. That is good. That is amazing.
Beauty in chaos, my man. And that is
Yep.
now let's get to Nowhere Generation. Let's fast forward to now. The songwriting
Yep.
process. Now, was the album written during COVID or did you already have it in the works?
We actually wrote and recorded everything before the pandemic hit. We finished everything literally like 2 weeks before the lockdown was announced, like things started to kind of shut down, which is crazy because the record is very applicable to the pandemic.
I kind
That's
of
all
got
right.
that
I'm
vibe,
watching
actually.
them for you in the background.
No, I'm watching it too. I'm kind of going back and forth. It's just two musical dads talking right now. That's all it is.
Oh yeah,
I'm not going to be able to edit all that out. So we're just going to embrace it and, we're going to keep rolling with
that's
it.
all that I am totally fine with that.
I appreciate your
Um,
patience, man.
Yeah, for sure. The record is very applicable to the pandemic in a post-pandemic world, but it was written pre-pandemic, and I think it just speaks to the daily struggles that the youth have to go through. This record as a whole, to me, is for the youth. It's like we're recognizing their struggles and what they have to get through or go through to get a job and try to make enough, for a good, decent living wage. And then you have student loan to deal with, like, so it's tough. And
Yeah.
I guess we felt like that wasn't really tackled, like that topic. So we wanted to kind of highlight it. Um, but so hopefully we can try to, the powers that be can make a change and help our youth carry on, so they can have a future and push the world forward.
I love that. And it's bands and people like you who have that mindset that can and hopefully will make that happen. The power of music, man. Don't ever doubt the power of music. And I know you guys don't. Rise Against has been one of the main bands who, in my opinion, have always stayed true to themselves no matter what. Small label, major label, you guys have been you. And the songwriting, in my opinion, the vibe really hasn't changed. And I love that. Now, is
Yeah.
that something that has to do with you? Are you like, no, this is how I write and this is how I'm going to write forever? Or how's that go?
Yeah, it's something, Tim and I write all the music, and it's just what comes out of us. We never really discuss what we're gonna, accomplish with a song idea, because then it would be forced, and we don't want to do that. So
Right.
it's very natural. If I'm writing a song at home and I bring it in to show him, he respects, the vibe that I'm trying to convey, and vice versa. Like it always works very well that way.
Hmm.
And you know, if you're the songwriter, you don't want to mess with someone's vision. Like
Right.
it's just, you just respect the artist. So we've always kind of ran Rise Against that way, you know.
And it's such a pleasure to be, talking with you because, the singers, they always get all the clout, but dude, you got the rhythm section right here, man. Where's the drummer at?
Yeah, exactly.
You are the glue to the, to the whole thing.
Yeah, and I think growing up, I always took notice to, even before I played bass, I always took notice to the bass and the drums and what they were doing
Mm,
together. Because if they're not synced up, it's obvious. And at
very
the
obvious.
time,
Yep.
I would listen to bands that maybe they didn't quite have like a decent rhythm thought out, and every, it sounded off to me, but I wasn't sure why,
Right.
but then growing up, I come to realize like they have to be locked in, there's
Yep.
definitely something to it.
So we're gonna go to the Instagram. We had a couple people. I posted what kind of questions do you have for Joe? Lily Lucky Girl, who says she's Rise Against #1 fan. She said, "What's the
Absolutely is.
song? What's the song you're most excited about for fans to hear?" So not your personal favorite song, but what's the song that you can't wait for fans to hear?
um I can't wait. There's two. There's a song called Monarch on the record.
Mm-hmm.
um it's definitely like harkens back to when we first started. I think it's a super powerful song.
Mm,
um and I there's a song, Talking to Ourselves. It's kind of about, after being a band for 20 years, sometimes you sit back and think like, is anybody paying attention to what we're singing about? Like,
I say that every day on the radio,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to like
Yeah.
assess things from time to time.
Yep.
So that song speaks to that, and that's one of my faves as well.
Nice. I love that. And you're so right. You definitely have to reassess as often as possible. You know,
Yeah.
we actually had a guy who, man, he got a tattoo. It's a massive tattoo on the side of his body. Here we go. All right. I'm going to show you the tattoo like I told him I would.
All right.
Right there. You got
Oh yeah.
some lyrics. And he said, he's got a question for you. First of all, he loves the new music. It's more of a request than a question. He has seen you guys countless times, and he's never seen Survive live. Now, he knows you're going on tour, and he's asking, this is going to be his 4th time seeing you guys. On August 10th, are you going to play Survive?
Um, I would say likely. I would
Oh,
likely,
okay.
especially very, very fitting after this post-pandemic
Yep.
world. So yeah, I would say that that's not out of the realm of possibility. Like
That's
it's yeah.
amazing. And so if you ever want to hit him up on Instagram, his name is Something Witty, goes here, 83.
Uh,
So
all right, cool.
appreciate the showing your art, man, and the lyrics. I mean, that's intense. That's not just
That's amazing.
that's not just a normal tattoo there. So when's the last time you guys were on tour?
Um, it was fall of 2018,
So this will be
which
the
is
first
nuts.
time. Yeah, that is nuts. That is
Yeah.
nuts. So yeah, I bet you can't wait. You're just reeling, huh?
Yeah, we did. I mean, that tour, it was definitely one of my faves we've ever done because it was with old friends. The band AFI and
Mm,
Anti-Flag. They were with
yes.
us.
Yes.
It was really the perfect tour. But yeah, so we ended, thinking like, all right, we'll take some time off, write a record, at our own pace, and then we'll get back to it. And then
Fast
so
forward.
then you have the lax version of Rise Against writing a record, and then the pandemic.
I'm a fan of all types of music, but there's something about hearing the natural tone and just seeing musicians on stage just raging, dude. And
Yep.
I can't wait. August 10th, right? That's when you come to New Orleans.
Yep.
I'm going to be there. We're going to high five. We're going to high
All
five.
right.
And we're going to
Sounds
have
good.
a damn good time. So how long are you going to be in New Orleans? Just that show and you're bouncing or what?
Yeah, in and out basically, as that's the nature of the beast.
Yeah, you're right about that. I just appreciate you guys not skipping Louisiana because, there's been a couple tours announced and I'm like, oh, look, the theme is continuing of tours skipping over Louisiana. Nothing's changed.
Yeah. We had so many fun shows there, and just as kids, we weren't married back then, and we would just fools in the van wandering around. But I remember wandering around the French Quarter, like thinking like this is so beautiful, and it was always the highlight of any tour to walk around
Really?
New Orleans. So yeah,
Out of
for
all
sure.
cities you play in, New Orleans is the highlight of the tour.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like it.
I'm holding you to that, man.
Yeah,
We're gonna Nowhere Generation, the new album by Rise Against, out June 4th, right?
Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a pleasure, dude. Seriously, I can't wait to hang with you and see you guys when you come to the Fillmore on October 14th, 11th, 10th, August 10th.
August 10th.
August 10th. That's the one. All right, Joe. Again, man, I appreciate it. I'll see you guys soon. All right.
All right. Take care. Thank you.
Bud. Thank you.